Today, our goal is to create a simple automation for a subscriber that subscribes to our newsletter. And the general idea is to see how automations work. So to do that, we're going to go to the CRM, to automations. And here we click create an automation. And before creating automation, we should know that there are triggers that can work with automation. So we have a couple of triggers in here. We have different options. First, for the CRM. So triggers can be based on list applies, list removed, tag applied, and so on. Or the one that we're going to use today, the form submission. We have also other triggers for the store, for the order processing, order completed, for subscription, or WordPress triggers like a new user sign up or user login. We're going to discuss multiple triggers in other videos, but for now we will focus on the form submission trigger. So let's name our automation. We're going to name it newsletter automation. And for a trigger, we're selecting new form trigger. We click continue. And then we need to select the form that we are going to use. We already created a page with our form. So I have it open in another tab. This is a demo page with the form. And on the form that we created, we have our first name and our email and the subscribe button. So let's get back to the automation that we started. And here we select the form that is on that particular page. And the form is called subscription form. We map the values, which is an easy process. We choose the name. We don't have the last name, but we do have the email address. If we have other data that we can map it here. We don't have this in this form. And we can also choose the subscription status, which is subscribed, because the user, once they fill the form and send the subscribe and press the subscribe button, they are automatically subscribed. We can also set the condition to run multiple times, but we will run this once. This is best practice. And we save the settings for the trigger. So now we have the form, which is the trigger, and then we will add actions to this automation. So let's add an action. Click for an action. And then what we choose to do after the form is submitted, we will send an email. So we have multiple options here as actions, but right now we will focus on sending a custom email to the client. So we'll select custom email. And we can create a custom email here. We can start writing the email. We can add images or buttons and so on. We can type the email subject, but we created an email before as a template, and we will import that template. So we click import template, and we will choose our first email that we created as a template before. And this email is called welcome to our newsletter. And here's the template. We have an image and we have some text that we added. And we can change things around. We can move the image if we want. We can delete the image. We can add some other text, or we can change the subject and so on. Once we're happy with our email subject and text, we scroll down. We can also send a test email if we want to, and we save the settings. So now we have our first two steps of the automation. So we have the trigger, and we have our first action. What we will do as our second action, after the customer subscribes and receive a welcome email, then we will wait a few days. So we'll click another action, and we choose to wait a few days, and we're going to set the waiting time as 2 days in here, and we save it. and we will wait a few days, and then we will send another email to the customer. Well, we give them an option to buy a product of ours with a discount. So let's add another action. And then we will set another custom email. And we already created this email like the previous one with the discount. We will import the template. This is how it looks. It looks pretty good. We have the coupon code. We have the order button that is set. And we click save. So at this point, we have the trigger, the first action, which is the custom email that welcomes our customer to the newsletter. Then we choose to wait 2 days, and then we send another email with a special offer. Once we're happy with everything that is said in here, we can close the automation and we click plus. And as an action, we're going to search for the action to end the funnel in here. We save the settings, and this is the funnel that we have created. This is the automation that we have created. And once we're happy with it, we can publish it. And then we can even test it. So let's go to our form and let's make a test to see how this works. So we're going back to the form. I'm going to click refresh, and then I'm going to add a name here. Test name, for example. Test. Okay, let's see. Let's add just my email address in here. I have a test email. I'm going to add my test email in here, and I'm going to click subscribe. So let's do that. And we got a message here that it's already set from the form. Thank you for joining our newsletter. And then the automation will start running. So let's check our email. Our first email arrived. And this is the welcome email. And now we will have to wait 2 days to get the second email with the discount. So an automation can have multiple emails, multiple sequences combined with multiple actions depending on what you want to create. But this one was just one simple automation that we created to show you how it works. All right, so while our automation is running, or when it's complete, we can turn on the stats to see how the stats look. So let's click on the stats, and we can see that we have one person who subscribed, one person who got the welcome email, and one person who entered the sequence of waiting 2 days. And we have the last step that is not completed yet. And this is going to be completed after 2 days. We can also view the reports. If we click on reports, and we can see the person that subscribed, and the entrance, the send custom email, and the wait time. You can also see the reports in multiple ways, and also the email analytics. While the automation is running, and after the first step, we got also a contact. The person who subscribed became a contact. So you can see the contact in here. And we can see some data about the contact that the contact added. So we can see the first name and the email address. On the form, we can also add mobile phone number, address, and so on, depending on what we want to achieve. And when we go back to the automation, we can see it here. We can see that it's published and that it's still running.